tonight's a very exciting night. Medipreneurs Summit is under 5 weeks away. There's a lot of excitement building around it. And in particular, we've got these wonderful workshops with experts that have so much to share with you. So tonight's a time to celebrate that. And for you, if you've already registered, to get really excited about what you're going to experience. And if you're thinking about registering, for you to understand all the many reasons that Medipreneurs is going to be an event like nothing you've attended before, with lots of different reasons to gather compared to some of the events that you may have attended in the past. So we are ready to tell you about that and get you excited about these opportunities that are going to be coming your way. I want you to know that we've got several reasons. Our planning team has really honed what we want you to get that's a tangible return on your investment to come and spend the weekend with us. And so some of those items are just networking. How often do you really get to network with people that come from all aspects of healthcare, but mostly practitioners, but from every profession? People that have chosen to have their own business, start their own business, many of whom have had successful businesses for quite some time. And then we've also got some people who are been in healthcare for a while and maybe are in the process of moving into a more entrepreneurial role. And then we have a number of people that support entrepreneurs. A lot of people are going to be here from more the tech and the health tech industry and other entrepreneurs that support health entrepreneurs. We believe there's great power in entrepreneurs helping other entrepreneurs. In particular, we believe this networking will help you self-identify as somebody who you decide how much interest you want to take in all of the initiatives that are happening to try to enhance healthcare in our country and elsewhere. So as an attendee, you're going to have some exclusive opportunities to self-identify, to be on registries, to be made available to others who are trying to fix healthcare problems. You are unique in that you have chosen to be an innovator. You're one of a very few people willing to leave the salaries and the protection, if you will, of the traditional corporate and come do this. So we're so glad that you are doing this and embarking on this with us. Tonight, you're going to learn about our 2-track. And please know that you can mix and match at any time. You can learn a little bit on the health tech side, and you can learn a little bit on the messaging side, and you can go back and forth. The weekend is going to be yours to plan. And then we're going to have some new things to explain to you about, some beautiful bonuses here in just a little while. So again, so glad you're here. I am waiting for just a couple of more people to join us. Thank you so much, speakers, for being here. I see almost every single name, and I'm thrilled that you are here. So why don't we actually go ahead and dive in. Olga Muller, I see that you're here. I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you to speak to us first. I want you to talk about the amazing conferences you've been attending and just your very unique perspective about health tech and how attendees will receive an assessment before they come. But in general, they're going to learn from you about some of the upcoming things that are coming, that are either available or coming soon in the tech world, how that could enhance their business, and what things they might want to build and what things they might want to buy to enhance their very particular business. So Olga, if you'd introduce yourself a little bit more and tell us about your session, that would be awesome.
Sure. So again, my name is Olga Muller, and I've been in health tech industry for a few years now. And it's true, it is part of my yearly routine to attend the industry conferences that typically showcase all types of emerging technologies and talk about what the larger companies are really creating. So this year I've been just to two. One of them is Vive, another one is HIMSS, and the Vive conference is really more about showcasing all the emerging technologies in general and how we can support, how we can grow them, what is the ecosystem looking like. There's a lot of conversations about what the investors are looking forward, what are they considering, what are they not considering, what are the overall trends, and how do those emerging technologies actually find their way to market. On the other hand, the HIMSS conference that I just attended last week in Orlando is traditionally the largest healthcare conference in the United States, and it's all about general innovation trends. And a lot of those participants are larger companies, healthcare organizations. Again, from my viewpoint, I normally get a lot of insights from anything from smaller clinics and including international hospitals to really very large provider organizations that are talking about what their roadmap is looking like. What are they adopting? What are the newest things? What makes sense? What didn't make sense? A lot of conversations about what worked and what didn't, how some things are implemented, what are the hiccups on the way, what are the underlying issues that those organizations had faced. So it's always good to learn. Also, a lot of new literature, a lot of new, like, this is where they announce all the big um, launching of the new initiatives. So again, if I was just to describe everything I've seen, probably we could spend another, 3 days just talking about it. But in general, what I would like to talk about is just from the viewpoint of any practice, what is the, just to go over the quick inventory, right, of what are the typical technologies that are used in every office. And of course, you start with, okay, there is a typical EHR, electronic health records, right? Then you have practice management software. Then you have your regular hardware that you have to keep up with. You talk about, let's say, potentially there could be some messaging tools, security tools. Then you might go for obviously all of your connectivity that you need in order to operate. Some may have the telemedicine accessibility, patient portal, how do patients access your practice? So if we were to go over and just go over that basic inventory, a lot of times it becomes evident for the owners of the practice or the managers of the practice where your potential difficulties are, what are the technologies that are working well, what are the technologies that are not working well. One of the things that had happened over the last few years is there is an emergence of these all-in-one technologies where they provide pretty much anything, payment portals, telemedicine access, secure messaging, EHR, practice management, all in one. Obviously, you still need connectivity, you still need your hardware to be able to access that. But on my side, again, this is more towards my world. I'm more operating in the world of software. It is really interesting how some of those technologies come in and some of the practices operate and really embrace them. Some of the practices find that really they prefer to have different components for their solutions for one reason or another. And typically it is good. What I'm planning on doing is really create more of a engaging discussion between attendees and facilitate that to really go over what are the potential problems that we are trying to solve, what are the best way to solve them. Are we looking for all-in-one solution? Are we looking for a very specific and targeted solutions to the market? And of course, on top of that, we all know that number one conversation at every conference I go to, it's all about integrations and usability of AI, which that becomes really interesting whether I'll witness how those conversations from maybe a couple of years ago to whether we should be adopting that what is happening and explorational had transferred to how, and most of it is how we did it versus how we're going to do it. So it in just that short period of time, we see that AI is indeed taking over every industry, including healthcare. Healthcare is yet to figure out what is the best way to regulate it. So now most of the conversations are about what are we still going to do about additional regulations? Do we need additional regulations if FDA is sufficient? But there are simple tools that really I find super helpful. For example, the tools that allow to record SOAP notes and find even some CPT codes sometimes by just transcribing the doctor's notes, or some of the ones that interpret images and give providers really good observations on what they should be looking at. Or there are so many other technologies, AI-based technologies, that are models that are trained to really be that assistant to a doctor. AI definitely is not going to replace the doctor, and thank goodness everybody in the industry is agreeing to that.
Good.
However, it is becoming a really good tool, and it is saving time for physicians, for anybody running the practices, by just providing that information, by being able to very quickly absorb large amount of data and kind of spit out the right answers, not necessarily the right conclusions, because we still want to validate everything, but at least some suggestions. So that kind of in a very quick observation of what it is.
Thank you. And
Anybody has any suggestions, questions? Yeah, feel free to ask.
as you can hear, Olga has just such a deep understanding of the technology that's out there. We all have tech in our businesses, and so we will survey you before the session so that you can help guide which discussion topics she leads you through based on the needs of your particular businesses. So, Olga, you've got so much to share. It could go on for days, and I've learned so incredibly much from you. One of the things I'm really excited about is you mentioned the technology that's going to help decrease some of that charting time. Every physician, chiropractor, nurse, person I talk to spends so much time documenting, and you've given me great hope that there's technology coming that's going to greatly reduce
Oh, it's
that.
here. It's not
Yeah,
coming. It's here. It's just a matter of
good.
when each person is going to adopt any part of that, right?
That's beautiful. Thank you. I'm going to move to Juan Garzon. Juan is going to be talking to you about optimizing your story, the story of your business, and how do you clearly share that. Juan has been the leader of Innovate Charlotte, which does a lot of innovative things in the health industry in this city. He also he hosts the Pitch Breakfast on once a month on Wednesdays, and he has even helped people prepare for Shark Tank. So Juan, talk to us about the approach you're going to take in helping us clarify our messaging.
Sure thing, and I'm having some issues here with my main webcam, so if it looks funny, I'm apologies for that. So yeah, I'm going to be chatting a little bit about storytelling and messaging, which is one of those key components that's important to any business at any stage. And you know, my background touches on various aspects of storytelling. My background is in brand strategy and sales communication, so helping, you know, companies communicate their message to potential clients. What is that value proposition of this, or what is this idea or product or service that they have, and how does it help benefit this potential client? More recently, you know, been working really for the past, I say recently, but really the past 10 years in the ecosystem building space and running Pitch Breakfast, where I've seen over 600 pitches of companies that are pitching investors on why they should invest in their company. And that's a whole different type of communication, where you're explaining your business, what it is that you have built, what kind of traction have you gotten, what kind of market, you know, potential is there, what your needs are, and why an investor should put their money and bet on that particular company. So when you take an investor pitch, you take a Shark Tank pitch, which is actually a different animal, right? Because now that is more playing to the camera and to what makes good television, more so than just a good investment. And you've got your sales communication side. You know, all of these opportunities that you as an entrepreneur may have to pitch either an investor, a client, a partner, a potential co-founder, a potential vendor, a potential employee, they all have some common elements. And that's one of the things that I'm going to be talking about in my workshop, is what are those common elements? How do you understand audience perception? what is it that your audience, wherever they might be, a potential employee, potential partner, potential investor, what are those current perceptions? How can you use story elements to engage them and help them understand what it is that you bring to the table and get them excited about working with you, working for you, or being a partner with you. And then using frameworks to help make it easy to put together a pitch, to put together your brand story, and doing that in a way that makes sense to you, makes sense to them, and really gets the messaging part out of the way and really to the core of your business. So I'm looking forward to working with you all in that workshop come the conference, and happy to answer any questions about that, what we're going to cover, or anything else that I can help with.
Thank you. Oh, that's a good point. Olga, you offered that as well. If you all have questions for them or guidance on things you really want to hear at the summit, this is a great time to put those in the chat. Renarda Jones. Renarda is on our planning committee. She's an incredible friend, and she is someone who is passionate about moving healthcare forward. And she's going to talk about selling the need and servicing the sale. And Renarda, please tell us more.
Absolutely. So I'm Renarda Jones. I'm a pharmacist, and I'm the CEO of Peason Incorporated, which is a managed care consulting organization. We help Medicare plan sponsors with their quality ratings as it relates to drug-related measures. I'm anticipating they get at least a 4-star on CMS's 5-star scale, therefore leading them into getting quality bonus payments, which is millions of dollars that they can use to offset benefits to their beneficiaries. My topic at Medipreneurs is called Sell the Need and Service the Sale, and it's actually from an ethics class that I took because I'm also a Medicare insurance agent. And when I was doing this CE for the ethics course, it talks about sell the need and service the sale. And what that means is whenever you're selling life insurance, you should always make sure you're selling somebody what they need, not more and not less. And then as you're servicing that client, you're not just writing the policy. You have to actually make sure that that is the right policy for them. They keep up with their premiums. So you're servicing the sale before you get them and after. And that's kind of what we do around my whole entrepreneurial life. This is like my 8th or 9th business that I've started. And I'm happy to report that it's the first one that has turned into a multi-million-dollar business. And what we do is we find problems and then we implement a solution and we charge people for it. And what we've discovered is people like to do business with people that they like. It's one thing to be an employee and work with people that you don't like. It's a whole nother ballgame to be an entrepreneur and have clients that you don't like. So one of the things that we do is we build a culture and a partnership with our clients so that they want to do business with us. And a part of that is all about good customer service. And so there's some studies that show that 80% of customers indicate the experience that a company provides is just as important and necessary as the products and services. And then also that 86% of people says good customer service will turn a one-time client into a long-term brand champion. And so my session will talk about how do you take your current client base, service them so well that they become a champion of your brand. And then once you've got your foot in the door, it's not just that one contract you have, but you can anticipate their other needs, anticipate other items that need to be fixed. You implement those solutions and then you monetize from it. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about from Medipreneur standpoint, I think this is my 3rd or 4th year going. I fell into it at another conference about like Olga. I'm always at somebody's conference, and I met Sue Paul, and she told me about Medipreneurs, and I said, sure, I'll go. And I've been going every year since. And some of the reasons why I go is what I want to share with you all is why I think it's important for you to go. 3 main takeaways that you'll get from coming to Medipreneurs is number 1, you actually get to work on your business. So you walk away with tangible items that you either complete on site or you do as homework when you go home. But it's not like you came, got some information and said, oh, that may work for me, that may not work for me. These are tangible things like Juan's session where you'll get to work on your pitch. So they're tangible things that you can take away. Also, you get more contacts and connections. Everybody's heard your net worth is determined by your network. And so you'll get some great networking during this event. And people in the past have referred to Medipreneurs as finding their tribe. Because as entrepreneurs, we also vent to people that are not entrepreneurs, so they don't understand all the time what we're going through. And then the third thing is just reinvigoration after being around your tribe, after networking and learning information. That's just going to help better prepare you for what you need to do once you get back into your environment to service your clients better. So I hope everybody can come out. I hope you enjoy my session. I hope you enjoy all the sessions. And again, if you have any questions or feedback for me, we can certainly answer them here or at the summit.
Fantastic. Thank you, Renata. You make a great point that I want to emphasize again. We don't have speakers per se that are going to come and talk to you and you're rapidly taking notes and trying to take it all in. These are very much workshops. The whole idea is anything that's said, all of the information brought to you, you're putting it in context of your own business, taking notes, you're interacting with those around you in the room to share ideas and to help each other overcome hurdles, as well as the tremendous expertise of the person facilitating. So when you leave at the end of the weekend, you've got really tangible next steps. It's something that I love about this summit. So along those lines, we have Christopher Phelps, who has helped so many dental practices grow and enhance what they're doing. And he's now going to share those tips with all of us. So please tell us more.
Yes, definitely. And thanks for having me. As I like to tell most people, I'm a medipreneur that happens to be a pretty good dentist. I've built multiple dental practices here in Charlotte and built multiple dental companies as well. But what's kind of interesting, at dental school, while they taught me to be a good clinician, they taught me nothing about how to run my practice as a business, right? And definitely taught me nothing about how to market and promote that business. So for a while in the first stages of my career, I was fairly successful with marketing and other things, just being instinctive and just really, it was more of a trial and error kind of shotgun approach to marketing. But it worked for a while. But I found myself a time where I had 4 offices and I decided to buy back my time, free up my partners to be happier elsewhere. And I decided to sell my 2 best, most profitable offices. And I took over the 2 worst ones. Okay. The 2 underproducing practices, one of which was collecting $35,000 a month in revenue, but was costing me $70,000 a month in expense. And at the time, I was spending $36,000 a month in marketing for those 2 practices in total to get 60 new clients or patients for my efforts. So 30 at one office and kind of 30 at the other. Now, you don't have to be a math major to realize, or a marketing expert to understand, that is not a good ROI. Okay. But when you got 4 other offices and 3 other partners, you can kind of ignore it. When you've got 1 other practice and 1 other partner, yeah, that's a problem. Right. So it really forced me to stop what I was doing and really understand what was going on with our whole marketing processes and systems. Because sadly, the lesson I learned at this point was that people I'd interacted with dental marketing were really good at selling me on their marketing services, but had no idea how to find my ideal client for my practices. Okay. Not really. So I really set about and tried to study and learn what is marketing and simplify it for myself. So kind of in my presentation is I'm going to be talking about how I went from spending $36,000 a month to get 60 new patients to spending 74% less, so around $9,600 a month, and getting over 300 quality new patients per month. Okay. Obviously with a much more significant return on investment. And you can imagine when you pump your business with an unlimited quantity and quality of new patients or clients, what that can do for your growth of those businesses as well. So I'm going to be talking about my 7 pillars of marketing. And ultimately, I wanted to, this workshop, to do a couple of things. Number 1, teach you guys how to be the CEO of your marketing department. Okay. To understand that most of your mindset when it comes to marketing is that you're a hunter. You're sitting on that deer stand right now, when I need you to be more like a fisherman instead. So we're going to dig into that a little bit. We're going to talk about how to really understand who your target market is and who do you want more of? What kind of quality messages can you put in front of them that are going to grab their focus and attention? Because in today's world that we're so distracted with so many things on our to-do list and things on social media, if you don't grab people's attention and their focus in the first few seconds, they're gone. They're not even going to see the marketing efforts that you put out there in front of them, so to speak. We're going to talk about the content. I think this is going to dovetail very nicely with what Juan is talking about with that storytelling, right? Because that's, as they always say, data tells, but stories sell. So being able to put more story-driven stuff in your content in your ads is going to be a huge determining factor in getting more people to look to you and your business over others that are like you and around you. Okay. We're going to talk about tracking of marketing. We're going to talk about offers that you can put out there, kind of calls to action that actually incentivize people that are focused on convenience, not necessarily about what it's going to cost them, right? They value time over money. I mean, how many of you would like more of those folks in your business? Right? I know I would. We're going to be talking about how to track this stuff properly so you know what's working, what's not working, and why. And once you know why it's not working, guess what? Your brain really fairly easily understands what to do about it next. So we're going to talk about this and one of my favorite topics, how to add the science of influence and ethical persuasion to all of your marketing efforts out there so that you can influence more people to come your direction. Okay. And so by the end of this, not only will I teach you guys how to be the CEO of your marketing department, so it doesn't matter what marketing medium you're tapping into, and I'm going to cover internal marketing, some grassroots marketing stuff, obviously the traditional external marketing mediums, network marketing. Okay, we're going to talk about one of my most popular things that I did, which was business to business marketing, right? And how we can all influence more of our own customers to go to each other, which is kind of nice, without it really costing us any significant amount of money in the process to do so. So I want you to not only understand how to do this and work with the people that are going to do any physical marketing on your behalf, but as a workshop setting, you guys, by the end of it, should leave with a pretty solid marketing plan covering multiple different mediums for your business. And that's my ultimate goal, right? So you guys leave with a plan and you'll know exactly what you want to do, because marketing is a spectrum of time and money, right? Some things like external marketing, direct mail, what have you, don't really cost any of our time. We just write a check. It just costs money, right? At the other end of the spectrum, we have things like the grassroots kind of stuff, getting back in front of your target market, like physically in front of them at a community, where they live, wherever that may be, their place of business, wherever that may be. Stuff that doesn't cost a lot of money, but just costs more of your time, right? And so balancing based on your budget of time and money, you should be able to craft a marketing plan that helps you attack multiple mediums to help you reach an unlimited quantity and quality of new patients or new clients to reach whatever your business goals are. So I'm excited to dig into that with you guys and for you to learn more.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to go to all of these sessions. Next, I want to introduce a powerful duo. Olga Rizkova and Brian Denstead are going to team up. One of the specific things that some physicians attending the conference wanted to hear about are how do you stay in touch with your clients when they're not in the office with you and you want them to continue to be learning and engaging with the information that you kind of set them off with when you were in that practice with them. So how do we keep them learning? How do we keep them engaged? And so I don't know how you guys want to do this. Ladies first. Olga, do you want to tell us about what you two are planning?
Well, the main brain behind this workshop is definitely Brian. I am going to be assisting him. So I would like him to start.
Thank you. Thank you, Olga. I am Brian Denstead. I am a fractional chief technology officer with a company called TechCXO. And in a prior life, I was the chief technology officer for MD Live Telemedicine. So we were a skyrocketing telemedicine company a long, long time ago and got sold for many billions of dollars many years later. So it was all about figuring out how do we unlock and shift the narrative with patient engagement and really engaging with those. So I've been on multiple telemedicine projects since then. And Olga and I have crafted what we think is a really powerful workshop to sort of blend how you can take technology pieces of it and tie it into the many, many facets of patient engagement. So we've really have sort of broken patient engagement down into a really nice wheel where we're going to try and talk about the different components of it, from the framework, the metrics, the rules and regulations, the culture, and the technology pieces itself. So we're really going to try and take all those different pieces, boil them down a little bit and make an interactive workshop and try and get some of those use cases that maybe you're trying to crack open or expand even further. So we'll have some brainstorming sessions and some deep dives, and hopefully a nice little brain trust will form. And Olga and I will facilitate a great workshop that will help you move the next step forward with your patient engagement initiatives. So Olga, did you want to add anything to that?
So I guess you covered most of it, but to add a little bit is I work with another Olga. So we are the Olgas here, two of us. We work for the same company, and my role is mostly on the technical side. However, even as a technical person, you always have to think who will at the end use this technology and how these people will interact with this technology. Is it going to be easy for them, or that adds an additional burden? So I guess one of the components of our workshop would be the technologies that are available to you, and that it will be easy for you to adopt as a part of your practice, and that will be easy for your patients to use as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And then I'm going to turn to Eric Kirsch, who's going to, we've got a number of people who are on the call tonight who are already excited to be competitors in the pitch competition. But Eric, how are you going to be preparing people for the ability to do that? And tell us more about the competition itself.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. Yeah, I'm excited to do this. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. As far as preparing, I mean, you can definitely do some come with data and any information about your idea or your business. It's definitely gonna be helpful. But we're gonna go through kind of a checklist of things to do to build your pitch, and then a few elements that are kind of, they're not necessarily a check box, but things to consider, strategies, if you will, in the delivery. But the most important part about it is once we've built this deck, is to practice it. So throughout the conference, we're going to have designated times when you can go to another workshop, or you can come in and just work on your pitch some more. And then there's going to be designated spaces and undesignated times and places where everyone's going to have the opportunities just to pitch and test their language and their messaging, with other people in the at the event. Oh, and then part two of that question was the competition. Yeah, so the competition is, well, everyone's gonna have, like I said, plenty of time to build their deck, and then to use that to build a like an elevator pitch. And simply because of the constraints of time, everyone's going to get a chance to pitch their elevator pitch to a panel of judges, and it's going to be in front of a live audience. And out of those, whoever has the most compelling elevator pitches will have a chance to then pitch the full, well, probably about a 4 or 5 minute pitch to the judges in front of the audience, and then there'll be some prizes for the winners.
There'll be prizes and an opportunity to get a lot of feedback. And I know thanks to Juan and Eric, I've been able to pitch my business before. And a big part of it is your own feedback, but you learn so much from the feedback given to others as well. And so everything about this process helps you take that whole concept that we started with Juan about really clarifying your story, all the messaging tips and tools that Christopher's going to give us, and then turning that into your pitch, and then being able to compete with your pitch, really clarify and get a lot of feedback. There's nothing better to really help you hone that message, and you're going to use it then throughout your social media and throughout your relationship building with partners. So I've had a couple people ask me about pitch. I don't pitch. What's this about? I tell you, there's such power in doing it, and we encourage everyone to really embrace this opportunity. All right, thank you all very much. Then we're also going to have panels where those that have spoken to us about marketing and telling our story and enhancing our messaging will be on a panel, and we'll be able to ask them questions, really wide open, things specific to your business that we're feeling stuck. You want their expert opinion. And then on the health tech side, as you can hear, we've got such expertise. You're going to have a chance to speak to them as a panel and ask your very specific questions and learn more. So it's a weekend of tremendous learning, very specific to your business. So then I want to tell you about Sean Nason, who is very, very sick today. He could barely croak out, "I'm sorry, I can't come," a little bit earlier today. So let me tell you about him. You can tell from the picture. He's a wild guy. He's got really great energy. And here's what he sent me. So prepare yourself. Don't be a stupid driver or a stupid business leader. By spending too much time in the rearview mirror, too many companies with well-meaning leaders are tackling current problems with out-of-date, all too traditional, business-first solutions. Or worse yet, they're so busy putting out fires inside their car, they've convinced themselves that they're doing the best they can. The result? A whole bunch of frustrated customers and employees. Instead of making up excuses and settling for the status quo, it's time to reimagine relationships, put people first, blow up silos, and focus on the open road that can only be seen through the windshield. He is a Disney Imagineer, he is a cancer survivor, and he is a pioneer in the patient experience. So he'll be bringing all of that expertise to really set us on fire to begin the session, or to begin the whole summit. And then I want to introduce a bonus offering that we will tell you about now. Bob, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here, Michelle.
You're going to tell us about your bonus session, which is going to be we're going to have a virtual component this coming Monday, 7 p.m. We'll get the word out for everybody. And we're in addition going to have a live session on Friday as you're registering for Medipreneurs Summit. That's really going to set the stage and help you prepare yourself to get the most out of the summit. So I'll be quiet now, Bob. Take it away.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. Hey, aloha, everyone. As you can tell, it's kind of bright back here. That's because I'm on the island of Oahu in the state of Hawaii. So I'm coming all the way from Hawaii right now. But anyway, yeah, all the speakers sounds very exciting, Michelle. So I'm really looking forward to it. And so what I'm going to talk about, actually, I'm going to be doing a virtual session next week. And then, so I'll tell you about that first. And, the thing I want people to think about is, what does it take to 10x all phases of your life, right? Because people talk about 10xing, yeah, but you know what? That's just the business part of it a lot of times. But what does it take, really? What it takes is a 10x mindset. So in other words, it starts with knowing what your true purpose in life is. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is it that's important for you? We like to call that sole purpose in life. Right? In other words, I see so many business owners working all of their lives, right? And they just going, they're just going out there to keep chasing. Okay? But the question is, when everything's said and done, how do you want to be remembered? What resonates with you? And so our whole focus on this session here is to really help you to realize what your purpose is, understanding what your mission is, understanding what your vision is, and what are your core values? What do you believe in? What resonates with you? Because I have worked with a lot of multi-million-dollar businesses. So we're talking 10 million plus in revenue, along with some of my team members. So I've worked with companies that's 100 million, 200 million. They're very, very successful. Okay. But you know what the typical question is? If I were to sell my business, what's next? What's next? And that has a lot to do with not having the clarity of what their true purpose is. So the whole emphasis of why we're doing this bonus session virtually is so we can dovetail into another session I'll be doing, which I'll explain in a minute. so that you can have a clarity in what is it you want from your business. Obviously, people have financial reason for doing it, but you know what? After you have a certain amount of revenue, after you make so much money, that's not what it is. So come to our session. We're having it virtually. It's about a week from now, right, Michelle?
1 week.
So yeah, hey, come on down so that we can share with you how you can do all that stuff. What I'm really good at, you guys, is I'm very, very good at helping people to shift their mindset. That's what I'm good at, right? Because just to give you what my value proposition to people I work with, it's all about helping the successful business owners. And I like working with the self-made, family-oriented people. And I want to help them to really define what the sole purpose in life is, right? Why are you here, right? How do you want to be remembered? So that they can go out there and do what matters the most in their life, right? That is being able to probably spend time with the people they care about, that they love, doing what they love to do, and be able to make an impact in the life of others. So now I'm going to dovetail that, Michelle, into the bonus session on the 19th, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason why this pre-workshop is so important, the virtual one, is because I want to be able to tee you up for the session I'm going to be doing. It's called the 8 key drivers to increase the value of your business and have more free time. By the way, Christopher, I like what you're talking about, man, because that's really what this is all about, right? It's not about just growing the revenue, not just about growing the bottom line, but how could you grow the value in your business? Because so many people will get caught up in that. So what end up happening is they end up going to those hamster wheel, right? The more they grow, the faster they're going to move, right? And as next thing you know, they're going so fast, they can't get off the hamster wheel. Because you know why? The minute when they get off the hamster wheel, everything stops. Okay? And typically that's because when you're a business owner and be an entrepreneur, most people think they have to do everything. So as a result, not only are they owning the business now, but they also got multiple jobs that they got to do. Okay, so when people begin to do that, they're no longer designing their life, but the business is dictating what they got to do. So it's a dilemma, but I'm sure, if you have been in the business for a while, it sounds familiar. So what I want to share with you is to find out what are the key drivers that can help you so that you can begin to grow value. Because once you're finished with whatever you want to do there, it's no longer a lifestyle business, but you can also have some value and you can get out of the business by selling it or having someone else take over. Because whether you like it or not, eventually we are all going to have the end game. Sometimes voluntarily, sometimes it may not be. So having this kind of plan in place is always a great business plan to begin with. So I also want to encourage, people to come so at least they can find out, hey, what are the key drivers that's going to really drive the value of the business? And ultimately, when you begin to do that, you're no longer a solo practitioner, meaning what I'm saying, you may have staff already, but if you have to make all the decisions, guess what? You're pretty much doing everything. So by understanding how to create value, there's going to be some things you have to do that eventually will take you away from being the person to have to make all those decisions. So as a result of that, it's going to begin to help you to create some value where your company will become sellable. Okay, so anyway, so those are some of the things I'm going to be talking about, Michelle. So love to see all of you guys come.
I appreciate you. I will tell you, at Medipreneurs in the past, we've talked about hats and the many hats we wear as business owners. And so we're going to have Bob helping us do an assessment of where's our building now, our business now, and where do we want it to go ultimately, and start thinking about the steps to get there. That is going to help you identify which sessions at the summit are going to best fill the holes, the gaps, help you reach the places you want to go. It's also going to help guide the conversations you have with the networking. Like Renarda said, one of the best parts of this is networking with other innovators, other business owners, some people who are ahead of you, some people are a little behind you, and you're all going to be sharing your ideas. We've got Olga and Brian going to help us figure out what technology is out there to help, and what can technology do and what can technology not do. And then you're going to have Christopher and Eric and Juan talking to you about how to hone your messaging to achieve what you want, to let other people really fully understand what you have to offer so that they can engage with you and your business better. And then you can win prizes with the competition. There are so many little bonuses that are built into the entire summit that we'll be talking about over the next couple of weeks. But I give you a couple of hints. There are going to be massages. You're going to have a chance to get your headshots taken. And there are going to be some opportunities for yoga to start your day before we get started. So just a number of people are excited to be there, to support you, to support this event, to make it extremely successful. And then one other thing that was brought up that I want to make sure we've talked about is healthcare is so siloed, and it's something that Sean talked about when he was describing his session. There's no need for this. When you think about communities, if all of the health entrepreneurs, the dentists, the chiropractors, the PAs, the physicians, the nurses, the OTs, the PTs, the pharmacies, if they would all get to know each other within a community, and for those that share the same values, even refer to one another, it's one of those situations where all ships will rise in a rising tide. So one of the other quests of this Medipreneur Summit is for people to understand the benefit of knowing the other entrepreneurs in your community and finding ways to support one another to the benefit of all your businesses. So I want to make sure everyone knows early bird registration ends tonight. So grab your ticket while you can before those prices go up. And then I wanted to let you know that the whole hotel block information, I put that in the chat. Our hotel rooms are about 2/3 full, and the block is at Embassy Suites Uptown. Certainly you can stay any place you want, but we've got a block there. They make amazing breakfasts. It's right across the street from the NASCAR Hall of Fame and other fun things to do in Uptown Charlotte. And yes, in Charlotte, they call it uptown instead of downtown. I still don't understand why, but you'll know the lingo before you get here. So again, see the chat for the hotel block, and more information will be coming. Because you are here tonight, we're going to call you registered for Monday. So I'll make sure that you have the Zoom link to hear Bob's virtual offering on Monday before his live offering on Friday. And again, that will really help you be fully prepared for the summit, to know what you want to get out of this weekend so that you get all of the benefits that awaits you. Are there any questions for us? Oh, Renarda, tell us about the iPad, please.
Yes, so anyone who registers for the summit between now and Wednesday, you actually get a chance to win a free iPad. And so one of the reasons we did that is because we wanted to let the gifts and the giveaways start sooner rather than later. So we're hoping that everyone takes advantage of the early bird block and a chance to win a free iPad.
There are questions about numbers, great questions. We're limiting this to 100 attendees, partly because we're having the event at Mido Station. Eric Kirsch is the administrator. Is that the right word, Eric? Of Mido Station, which is a co-working space, and it's largely for health entrepreneurs. So it's just the vibe we wanted, but it's not a huge space. So we're limiting it to 100 people. Right now, we've got physicians, acupuncturists, chiropractors, dentists, I said that, nurses, different kinds of nurses, pharmacists, occupational therapists. We've got a lot of different people coming. So I know I have not had the amount of time I would like to have networking with other innovators from other professions. This is that opportunity to do that. We've had a couple people ask, well, should I come because allopathic people don't really embrace what I do? This is a gathering of innovators, not necessarily people that are trying to exclude the services of others. Come curious and come ready to learn about each other, and you're going to be amazed what we're going to learn from each other. It may be somebody that is in a practice you've never even heard of before, who's figured out some of the business techniques that you're seeking for your own business. So it's going to be awesome. Please spread the word to all your friends and family. So grateful you came tonight. And I will get you this recording and more information about Monday and keep you in the loop as we get closer to Medipreneur Summit. So grateful for all of you. Have a beautiful night.